This podcast is part of the Podcast Arcade Network.
Welcome to the Covert Nerd Podcast. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Please take a moment and pause this podcast right now and share it with somebody who you would think would enjoy the same topic, whether it's a family member, friend, coworker. I would really appreciate it. Please go to covertnerd.net for all the previous episodes and the different ways that you can get in touch with me. And without further ado, let's dive right in and nerd it up. All right. Hey, everybody. We're back for another episode of Darker and Edgier with Ben and Al from Lenny Vernon. Just like routine, we're going to start with our Guess the Artist because Al is the expert, right, Al, on all things artist, right, from the 90s.
That's right.
Are you ready, Al?
Yes.
Okay. Got the first one here. We've got Deadpool number 3. And these are all from the 90s, by the way.
That is Joe Madureira.
There you go. See, yeah. I'd forgotten all about him. I didn't realize Deadpool. I don't know what else he did. I guess I didn't dig into that. Do you know what else he did besides Deadpool?
So when he did Deadpool, incidentally, he was like 18, 19.
Really?
Yeah, he was regarded as like the wonder kid of comics. Now, to be fair, he'd gone to a like arts high school on scholarship in New York. So he wasn't like, it's not like he was just a regular schmuck. But yeah, he was like 18, 19 years old when he broke into comics doing Deadpool. And then after Deadpool, he went on to be the regular artist on X-Men for like Uncanny X-Men for like 2 years. And then he went to Image. Actually, I think it was Boom Studios, but it was an Image book, and he did Battle Chasers.
Okay.
And then he did Battle Chasers, I think, for like 2 or 3 years, but he didn't. He wasn't good with his deadlines or his consistency. And then the book started, the numbers started dropping off. And then he also did a lot of album art, video game art, and then through that they had looser deadlines, and he basically started his own imprint and has just done video games.
Really?
And now he makes video games and mostly does, and he'll do the artwork for them. But yeah, and he's come back and he's done a couple things for Marvel. Not monthly books. He'll do like they'll say, hey, we want 4 issues of a big, like the Avengers versus somebody. Take all the time you need.
Okay.
He'll do that kind of stuff, but monthly books and him don't get along. But yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, bad at deadlines and bad consistency fits right in at Image.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Lack of deadlines. That's interesting. So he went from zero to hero, so to speak, from just some kid to we're going to put you on Deadpool. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Good job, Al. All right. Next one.
I want to say Mike Mignola.
Nope.
No.
One more try here.
Oh, man. That is Kevin Nolan, maybe, because it's DC Batman.
Oh, I just made a mistake. I saw it's right there on the front cover.
I can't read it.
Tim Sale.
Oh, Tim Sale. I think he just died recently.
I didn't do the first episode or first issue of Long Halloween. A lot of people know that one, but so I was like, well, let's go with the third
there
one.
It is.
Yeah, I just realized that. I was like, oh, I didn't block that out. Oh well, all right.
Yeah, that makes sense that it's Tim Sale.
Yeah, he does look a lot like Mike Mignola. Now that you say that, they're a little more jagged.
Yeah, and he's a very graphic. Not necessarily realism, but he does, it is more of like commercial illustration, graphics type work.
And in fairness, this isn't a high resolution image, but that's okay. All right. Long Halloween. All right. The
DC ones always trip me up.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause you were more of a Marvel guy.
All Marvel.
Marvel, maybe some Image in there. All right. So next one, last but not least, giant fold out cover.
That's Eric Larson.
Eric Larson, yes, good job.
Yeah. That's a softball right there.
This is huge. I love how busy this thing is. Look at that.
Yeah.
Spider-Man number 23. I mean, look at that. Just everything, everywhere, everyone.
Yep.
Got Deathlock.
I had that issue.
You had that one?
Oh, yeah.
Deathlock. I remember getting some of his early ones in the early 90s. He was okay, but
They really tried with him in the 90s.
they did.
Yeah.
They were trying too hard.
I think so.
But he was okay.
Was that Solo? Yeah, you got Solo up in the top left corner.
Oh, the green guy up there?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got Solo, Nova, Mr. Fantastic, Hulk, Thing, Spider-Man, Deathlock, there's Doc Ock over in the corner. Okay, so I see you got the Sinister Six on one side and then
Yep.
Heroes on the other. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, good job.
Thanks.
Got 2 out of 3. So real good. All right. So who wants to go first? We're talking video games based on 90s comics. Actually, in fairness, we should start with what kicked off. Actually, so Al, you're going to go. I'll pick that because this is what kicked it off. So last episode, we were talking about comic book ads, and I saw this one for a Silver Surfer jet ski. And we were like, hey, let's talk about 90s comics. So Al, take it away on Silver Surfer.
So, yeah, I had the Silver Surfer video game, and I actually, as I've mentioned, I beat the Silver Surfer video game. It took a minute. It wasn't, like over a weekend.
Yeah.
Like I put work into that damn game. I thought it was fun. I liked it. I liked the graphics. It's a side scroll mostly. Yeah. There was a couple levels where you were looking down on the surfer, but for the most part, it was a side scroll game. I always thought it was cool the way his board they animated it so that if he was going up or down, the board would move. But it was incredibly hard, and I didn't realize until years later when people were telling me, holy cow, you beat Silver Surfer? That game was almost impossible. I was like, I don't know. I never even beat Mario. So
now did you buy this or somebody buy it for you?
I did. No,
you bought it.
Yeah, I bought it. That was mowing some lawns there.
Yeah.
And then so I looked it up, and I was doing some research last night and Googling some things about the game. And the one thing that they did point out, one of the reasons why it was so difficult is you'd have to shoot, hit something multiple times to kill any enemies coming at you. But if you even looked at the scenery wrong, if you touched anything as the surfer, you were dead.
What?
So yeah, you couldn't hit anything, or you're done. You're off your board.
Wow.
So that didn't help. But I thought it was fun. It was challenging. I think because it was so hard for me, I think that's what made it fun. Just because like we were saying before, the tenacity of damn it, I'm going to get past this level.
Out of all the games to pick, that's hilarious. So you would have won. I think you would have won the jet ski. Because
probably.
From what I've read, nobody could beat this game.
Right. So if I actually beat it, yeah, I would have been high in the running. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't know what I would have done with a jet ski.
Or the second prizes were 1,000 Silver Surfer watches. So they were giving out 1,100 prizes. But I don't know that they even sold 1,100 or 1,001 games. I don't know.
Right.
It came out in 90, so it was a little later in the Nintendo lifespan. So I've got
some promotion exec at Nintendo has 1,000 Silver Surfer watches in his basement.
Just sitting there in box and a jet ski in his garage.
He's like, I thought this was a good idea, but
Yeah. So you could pick, let's see, there's 5 worlds, it looks like.
Yep, it was like Mega Man. You could choose whatever world you wanted to go to, and as you checked them off, then you'd move to the next one. So you didn't have to go in any order. So if you started playing one and realized, no, that's not happening yet, then you could just go and choose an easier one and build yourself up.
Is there like Mega Man? They have kind of a recommended order. Do you know if there was a recommended order, or you just like,
I think you figured out the recommended order. Because some levels were harder or easier than the others, so you had your own recommended order after all.
Oh, so some of the levels were side, and then some of them were top down.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So that kind of mixes it up a little bit, at least. I think.
Yeah, and it was all just dodging stuff.
Oh, that's right. You're getting this like the MacGuffin parts for this weapon for Galactus.
Yep.
Oh, what was the ending like? I read about it.
I honestly, I don't remember.
Okay.
Hard.
I remember. So let me find it. I think you get to the end and you give Galacticus the final part, but then the Silver Surfer tells him, "This is too dangerous. You can't have it," and it just ends. So the whole point is to get these parts for Galactus, and then you're like, "No, you can't have it. It's too dangerous."
I think it was one of those, once I beat it, I wasn't revisiting this game a lot.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm done. You mowed a lot of lawns to get it, so you had to work hard to get the thing, and then you had to work hard to beat it. So then you're just like, no, we're done.
Well, and if that ending, I can't imagine feeling satisfied.
Okay, here it is. I found it. So at the end, you get all the pieces, and Galacticus says, "It's mine," but the Silver Surfer says, "No, it's too dangerous," and hides it away, and it just says, "The end."
That's amazing. Just no.
See, Al, what could have been? This ad has Silver Surfer flying through space with a kid just like hands in the air like he doesn't care. That could have been you, Al.
Right. That could have been me.
Well, let's see. You have to have it in by March 31st of 1991. I think you might be a little late for that.
I don't think I beat it by then.
Oh, okay. So it was later. Oh, you got this one way later, huh?
Well, no, I think I probably got the game in like 90, 91, something like that, but I don't think it took a minute to beat it.
Okay. Did it have saves, or how did it do saves or codes?
I think so. However, I think it was like how Mega Man worked. Like once you beat one,
you get the code.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
The value, we were talking about this earlier. If you have, this fits into Ben Crane's investment opportunities right here. If you have a Silver Surfer game and it's like mint condition, they're going for $700 to $1,000 on the high end. Probably more realistically, you're looking down here like $100, maybe $40. But you said it had a poster. That's probably what drive. If you have this poster, the game, the cart, the sleeve, the manual, it's worth quite a bit. Was it one of those fold out posters? It's like full in like four folds or something like that.
Yeah, it was folded up to fit in the box. And you just, so it had some seams when you taped it up to your wall.
Let's see, it was just basically the box art on a poster. Is that what it was primarily? Yep. Okay.
The Joe Jusko cover art there.
Joe Jusko did the art, huh?
Yep.
Many hours of Al's time invested in Silver Surfer. So if you want to go check it out, you can probably find it on an emulator someplace. Let's play a little bit here so you can kind of hear it. Oh wow, yeah. And you couldn't get hit at all, right?
No, one hit, you're done.
Oh my gosh. How many lives? You start out with like 3 lives, I assume.
Something like that, yeah.
Wonder if they went clear to the end on this video. Yes, they did. Okay, we got to find this. Let's see.
We can see the awesome ending.
Yes. This is what Al saw about 32 years ago. Yeah. Now the device is mine. Yeah, he's really red, isn't he?
He is red.
No, the device is too dangerous. I will take it to a safe place. Never shall it fall into the wrong hands. And Galactus just lets him.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. I'll put a link in the show notes for later. You can check out the whole thing. So it took this guy, whoever did it, I'm sure it's hacked or something, 41 minutes to go from beginning to end.
Wow.
I take it took more than 41 minutes, Al.
A lot longer, yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, man. I gotta love those endings. The Nintendo had a lot of those, though. You are the winner, for whatever that was. I forgot what game that was, but...
They were not burning calories on the minutia of the story endings.
No, not at all.
just every concept meeting is like, all right, so how does this game end? We just put the end on the screen and it's over.
I'm out of ideas. On to the next game.
Oh my God. Kids aren't buying it for the ending.
No,
Right.
no, exactly.
Just have it fade to black and then the end shows up. Maybe we put a question mark if we want to do a sequel.
That's right. Yeah. Keep them guessing. Yeah. Keep on the hook.
And then, hey, to help promote it, we're going to have a contest, a jet ski contest, because that's what kids want today is a jet ski.
That's right.
It makes you wonder if one of the executives said, I got an 8-year-old jet ski in the back. We'll just paint it and we'll put the sticker on it.
Some
Silver Surfer,
and fix that up.
Silver Surfer logo on it. It'll be great.
Yeah.
And then I got these watches we can get from China for 10 cents. Let's just bring them over and slap a Silver Surfer sticker on it and call it good. Oh, man. All right. Well, any more stories about the Silver Surfer video game, Al?
No.
All right. Well, Ben, let's see. What's your pick for us, Ben?
I had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time, which was as an arcade game was freaking awesome. But it was one of the ones, obviously it's a popular title, popular, property. So they moved it also from arcade to the console. For me, I did both. I played it in the arcade first, and then it was one of the few that I bought an arcade game that I bought for the console. And it just, to me, it didn't translate as well onto even though it's the exact same game, it just didn't translate as well on the console.
And you had it on a Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
So, okay.
But again, it's a 90s game, so it's a side scroller. I think what was cool about you could do it in the console version too, but the arcade is that since there's 4 turtles, you could play, you and 3 of your friends could all, drop 50 cents in and you could each be a turtle and move your way through this game.
Yeah, the arcade one was where it was at. That was the fun option.
Yeah, I never beat it either arcade or console. I just and there's very few games actually in my video game career that I've actually beaten.
Yeah,
I either get bored with them or if it was the Silver Surfer game, I do remember playing that. It probably just frustrated me. I'm like, oh, this game's dumb, and put it away.
Wow, you played it?
I did. Yeah, but yeah, this game, I just always liked. I really liked the Turtles. Of course, the cartoon was big around that time too when I was growing up. So seeing the video game was just fun and awesome. And you got to choose which turtle you want to be. So that was always good.
It was a great 2-player game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't just your standard 2-player. Yeah, you're right. You had the 4-player.
Well, I was gonna say, it's a side scroller, but like as you can see in some of the images here, the bad guys would like come from behind you as well. So you weren't just literally moving left to right. You'd be moving left to right, and then foot soldiers would show up behind you, like, oh crap, I got to turn around and fight them now.
If I remember right, you couldn't go backwards either. You could go forward, and if you went forward, everything advanced.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you couldn't go back, so you'd get like the bad guy that you'd leave hanging over here off to the side, and then he'd keep coming at you because you go back and you get stuck, so to speak.
Or if you'd see like a power up, like an extra life or whatever. If you advance too far, that it went off screen, then you're like, oh, you just lost it. You didn't get it because now you can't go back to it.
Well, and I think this was one of those games too where if you could take the lives of your partner. If you were Leonardo and you had 3 lives and I was Raphael and I had 1 life, I die. Should be game over for me. But no, I'm going to use one of your lives.
Yes, yeah, it would ask you like, do you want to take a life from player 1? And inevitably you would say yes, and it would probably result in your friend going, "Oh, you son of a bitch!" Getting pissed off at you. So, because you didn't ask him if you could take it. You're just like, screw it, I want to keep playing. So.
Right. That's right.
You're in the moment. You're like, I'm just gonna hit, continue. Right. Oh, and they have Toka and Razor from Turtles 2 in here. Huh.
Yeah, they incorporated some of the movie things too, along with the comic book and cartoon. The one thing I remember though is like, I think like most games where you have a team, there's always someone that people consider, the leader or whatever. And so if I remember it, like Leonardo was a little more powerful and a better character, but yeah. I never liked Leonardo. I always wanted to be like Michelangelo or Donatello, but Michelangelo is weak as hell in this game.
He
if I
was.
remember correctly.
He was.
Yeah.
It was almost like a cruel joke because everybody wanted to be Michelangelo.
Yeah, and there's like a make him weak. His nunchucks are short. He can't reach the bad guys anyway. So
Right.
Get more
Yeah,
quarters
it
that
was-
way, I guess.
right. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was. But I mean, overall, it was a fun game. I mean, it's a '90s 8-bit graphic. Well, I guess it's more than 8-bit because on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, 16-bit, but
16. Yeah.
Yeah, all the way up to 16. but it was fun. Just overall, you travel. Of course, it's Turtles in Time, so each level you're in a different time period, as either the future or the past or the present. And I don't even remember the plot of the game other than fight all the bad guys. You fight Krang and Shredder and Toka and Razor and Doctor, what was it, Baxter, Baxman,
Dr.
whatever.
Baxter,
the
Baxter
bad guy.
Stockman. Yeah, Baxter
Yeah,
Stockman.
Baxter Stockman. That's what it is. So, but like I said, other than fighting the bad guys and making it to the end, I don't remember what the plot was. Like, what was the Silver Surfer? You had the pieces you were gathering. Like, I don't even remember if that was something in this game or if it's just like, no, just fight these guys.
I think somebody took something through a time portal and they were chasing them through time. I think.
That makes sense.
Most of these, it's just let's throw every character from the comic book into the game, and kids will love it. I don't think people realize how huge the Turtles were back in late 80s, early 90s. I mean, they were massively popular.
Right. Well, they had cartoons, video games, action figures, movies.
Yeah, everything.
Live tours.
Yeah, you're right. Floats in the Macy's Day Parade. I mean, they had everything. It's just crazy how popular they were. But at the arcades, these games, Turtles games, are always full. And that 4-player action, like you said, that was what the draw was.
Right. Yeah, I dropped many weeks worth of allowance into this game.
Yeah, because it's 50 cents a pop, so this wasn't a quarter anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is the ending. Let's take a look at the ending here.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, our 4 reptilian heroes, have overcome the arch villain Shredder.
Okay.
Hey, but at least it wasn't just like, we're done. I mean, they defeated Shredder. They brought the thing back. It's not like Shredder just fell off and then the end appeared on the screen.
Right, April gave you a wink. That makes it exponentially better.
Oh yeah.
Right. That's the only reason you play the game.
Yes.
Right.
That's awesome.
Watching
that reminds me.
Man, the depth always got me.
Oh,
It was side scroll, but you had that depth. You could go up and down, and you'd always think you were on the same plane as the bad guy, and you're swinging at nothing. You have to I got to come down a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and they had
I forgot about that too. Yeah, you can move up and down the screen as well.
And jump. So you're moving. Like here's the Baxter Stockman. Yeah. So yeah, it is a fun game though. You get your buddies together, grab $2, $3, $4. You'd have a good time.
Right.
And then you'd steal lives from the other players, like you said.
Yeah.
And smack the guy that
good graphics.
Yeah, I know. Considering it's 16-bit, I mean, this is the arcade. It's a little better than the Super Nintendo version, but
it's double the bit of Silver Surfer, so of course it looks good.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Silver Surfer was regular Nintendo, so that was just 8-bit.
And then, do you have this game still, Ben?
Oh God, no.
Okay. Just like Al and I were talking, I was like, I sold all my old Nintendo games back in the mid-90s for like $5. Like, what a mistake.
I'm fairly confident I either sold them like in a garage sale or I might have like rounded them all up and like traded them in for at one point, like traded them in so I could get a
like GameStop
Nintendo
or
64 or something.
Yeah. Here's 5 Super Nintendo games. I'll get one used Nintendo 64 game.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, you can get Turtles in Time, Super NES, complete in box for $300, but the cartridges themselves are going for about 40. between 40 and 50. It looks like
That's still, I mean, that's still like double the value of if you bought it back in the 90s.
I know. Wow. Some of these are,
if you have just the cart, but if you have all of it, that's pretty good.
Let me go highest first and just see.
See,
obviously wow. Someone wants $6,500 for a, it's Japanese version, brand new. Okay.
Nah, the Japanese version always, is super rare and costs more.
But
they're really leaning into that. This is going to put my kid through college bit, huh?
I guess. They're getting a little desperate. I noticed it's still available.
Yeah.
Right. It's jumping on that deal weird.
Yeah. Still, you got somebody selling for $1,600.
I should have put all my my portfolio into games as opposed to comic books, because they actually seem to somewhat appreciate in value.
You should have.
Yeah, but that's only if you never played them and never took them out of the box.
See, that's the thing. Yeah. And if they're open, they're going for about 500. But still, if you have everything, $500.
Wow.
Right?
That seems to be what they're going for. If you have the box, the manual, the sleeve, all that stuff, just like Silver Surfer. If you just have the cartridge, it looks like you're going for about 100. Yeah, about 100. Yeah.
And one day you come home and you find your brother playing with all your investments and destroying your future.
Not figuratively, literally destroying your future. So that's Ben Crane's investment strategies. Buy video games now, never open them and play them, and then 40 years from now, they'll be worth something.
Right.
So,
and they'll maybe double in value.
So, and do that now, and 40 years from now, you can track Ben down when he's in a nursing home and tell him, "Hey, thanks for helping me out.
Thanks for the advice."
And now, by the way, feed me my oatmeal.
With your investment strategy, I was able to pay off my Tercel. So thanks for the advice.
Those are fun games, though, and as we'll see in some of the other picks, that style was just fun. Take some interesting and fun IPs and throw them in those side scrollers, and it's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have did you have an arcade when you're nearby where you were at, Ben, or did you have this in like a gas station or someplace? Or
oh no, I had a really nice called what was it called now? Dang, I can't remember now. But anyway, it had a really nice arcade in the mall in my hometown. That was only like 5 or 10 minutes away from where I lived. So
oh man, that no wonder you burned up your allowance.
Oh yeah, just about every weekend we at the mall and just in the arcade.
Yeah. Oh man. While Al was slaving away at Silver Surfer, Ben was playing Turtles in Time at the arcade. See, I think this came out in 92, I think is what I saw. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think it was 92 sounds right.
Yeah,
I was looking up some stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, fun game though. I think they have some re-releases. You can still play it. I even saw at an arcade in Omaha they had the first Turtles game, and they did kind of a reskin of it with more modern graphics. So they just took the exact same game but increased the resolution and the sound a little bit, but otherwise it's identical. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
So, yeah, I thought that was a good idea. Just kind of revamp an old game. But I'm sure you can find an emulator. You can find this game someplace, or you can go on eBay and buy the cartridge for $500. Yeah, whatever. All right. So let's see. Let's start with mine. Oh, so when I was doing some research, I was curious what was the first video game based on a comic book character, and it was Superman for the Atari 2600.
Oh,
so. I thought 1982, I think it was.
So you were just blue and red pixels moving up and down on the screen?
Yes. I don't think I bookmarked it. Let me see if I can find Superman 2600.
Well, and there was a Superman game too that in the 90s, I think it was in the 90s. I think it was for PlayStation. That's regarded as like one of the worst video games ever made.
Yes. Nintendo 64 Superman was pretty bad too, from what I found out. So,
I think that's it.
Well, because you take a super. Oh my god!
Here we go.
Oh,
you don't even have red pixels.
The phone booth.
Oh, man. Wow. This is what we had in 1982, kids. This is as good as it got. So there's this. So look at the screen, and then this is what got video game manufacturers in trouble in the 80s was the box art and what was actually
Oh yeah.
on. So there's the box art, and then
Right.
there's this is the gameplay. This is what you got.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is video games still get a lot of flack for that because they dump a bunch of money into the production value of like the cutscenes and the ads and stuff, and then you play the game and you're like, oh, it doesn't look anything like that. To where the point now is when you see ads for games, like it says, like there's a little disclaimer that says this is not actual gameplay or not actual footage from the game because
Right.
there's like World of Warcraft and some of the like Call of Duty games got kind of in trouble for that because it looked super realistic and lifelike and everything was awesome, and then you played the game and you're like, that's not what I saw on the screen.
Right.
Yeah, they got in a lot of trouble for that because of the Atari 2600 games and others where they had to put the disclaimer on it. And if you remember in the early as 84, 85, when Nintendo first came out, remember the first games had the kind of the pixel art on the front. That was the compromise that Nintendo had to do for retailers to say the concept art on the front has to be close to what the actual gameplay looks like. And so if you remember those first 10 games, 12 games are all kind of that pixel black pixel art cover. That's because of that. So
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, first video game based upon a comic book was Superman for the Atari 2600. That'll give you hours of fun. You thought Silver Surfer was difficult. Try figuring out what that phone booth looks like in the building.
Yeah, I don't want to play that game.
try figuring out what it is that you're supposed to be doing. I mean, like I said, I don't even know what's going on in that game.
No, I was like, what am I looking at? Oh, they even have. Oh, let's see. Let's go. See? Oh, but see, they changed the color of the building and they made it look a little different, though. Doesn't that get you excited?
Sure. It's a whole different level.
That's how you know you're somewhere else.
There's another person on the screen.
Civilians.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Look at this. What am I looking at? Oh, anyway, I'll put a link in the show notes. You can check it out. But this is all you had in 1982 to play at home, guys. So, all
That's
right.
crazy.
So my first pick is the X-Men arcade game, which is a 4-player game, just like the Turtles, where you have all your characters from the X-Men. It was inspired by the Kitty Pryde, the Pride of X-Men cartoon that they were going to make, but it got ditched. And I'm going to play the intro to it, and this just screams late 80s, because I think it's the pilot came out in 87, I believe. So
no place to hide, no place to run, no place to run. The mutant age has now begun.
So yeah, that just screams.
I want to see that cartoon.
You do? Well, you can find
that
it.
looks good.
I just love it because it's just late 80s X-Men all over the place.
The theme song needs a little work, but
yeah, they could tweak that a bit.
Yeah, do you like this theme song or the one that came out in 92 or 93 with? So
92 is much better, obviously.
Oh, yeah. So this was going to get greenlit, but they ditched it. But the characters from the X-Men arcade game came from this one, and they used the concept art and whatnot that they had. So they had, let's see, our characters you could pick from. I can grab those real quick. Let's see.
That helps explain it, because I was always curious, because the characters on the game just seemed like, why would you choose those characters? And then,
especially
like
like
Dazzler,
Colossus.
for instance. Like Dazzler at the time the arcade game came out, Dazzler was already kind of was backburnered. Like in 87 through 90, she was a kind of a big deal, but you know, when this arcade game came out, she was, like I said, she was already backburnered. This is the arcade game came out after the Jim Lee explosion.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and even like Colossus was never like an A-list like character, or at least in the fans' eyes, I would say.
Colossus made sense in the game because you need to have like, you know, your strong man.
True.
Like round out the team, but like, and then the costumes that they went with, you know, that Cyclops costume was like 8 costumes old by the time this game came out.
Yes.
When I think even Storm's costume was an older version too.
Yeah, that was early 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, Al's exactly right. By the time, it was 89 was when the X-Men, Pride of X-Men cartoon came out, and the game came out in 92, and Al is exactly right. By then, the Jim Lee X-Men had already hit. So you went to the arcade and played this, and you're like, wait a second. This is not what I was expecting.
It's not my X-Men.
Yeah, this ain't my X-Men. So you had Cyclops, Colossus, Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler, and Dazzler. And then your villains were Magneto, of course, was the final villain. Pyro, Blob, Wendigo, Nimrod, the White Queen, Juggernaut, and Mystique.
Huh.
So this one was pretty popular. And the kicker on this one was you not only could play 4 players, you could do 6 players on this X-Men game. That was a huge deal. And it had 2 screens. It was because back then we didn't have, you know, wide screens. You had to put 2 monitors together to get the play.
I think it's going to take up a lot of real estate.
Yes. It was very massive machine. X-Men. So you can kind of see the line down the middle where the monitors meet. But I still love the intro. I mean, even though they're the older designs, it's still fun. So you could pick your 6 characters if you had the 6-player one. Just like the Turtles, though, you had all of your characters. Yeah, you also had your superpowers. So each hero had their own superpowers. Which one did you guys like?
Yes.
I played as Colossus, and I never played as anybody else.
Of course you did. Why does that fit so well? So I always played as Cyclops or Wolverine, and Cyclops' optic blast, like when you did the power-up one where he could like wipe out almost the entire screen, was pretty good. But Wolverine had his Berserker move, which was freaking awesome. So
one of the best ones I was reading online was they said either Nightcrawler or Colossus because their powers just emanated out and it just killed pretty much everybody on the screen. Yeah, this is a fun. If you can find the 6-player one, it is a massive beast. I never actually played it on the 6-player one, but I did see one. There's a guy that restores old arcade cabinets, and I was at his shop one time, and he actually had one of these. And it's at least 6 to maybe 7 feet wide. It is a massive beast of a machine. Yeah. But 2 screens.
I don't think I even realized there was a 6-player version. I always saw the 4-player one.
Yeah, I remember the 4-player, and I think there's one of the beercades in town has a 4-player.
Yeah.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. I've never made it past the first level though. That first level that you showed, that first video, I never made it past that. Even now, it's not good. I mean, it's not. The game's fine. I'm just saying, like it's hard, and I've never been.
It is. It is hard.
Yes.
Some of let's see, there's some X-Men Arcade. Let's see, you got some taunts. Magneto, the main villain, of course, taunts the players by calling them X-Chickens.
Nice.
Of course.
There's an announcer who excitedly shouts out the name of each player when they join the game. So it's kind of cool. Let's look at the ending here. Let's see how we can rate the endings on this. So of course Magneto's the last boss. I think you fight Juggernaut too. Well, anyway, let's check out the final.
Where's the spider coming from?
There. Okay, we killed Magneto. Actually, there were 6. Yeah, that's 6 players. He didn't stand a chance.
No.
Destroy Asteroid M.
And just fly away.
That's it. Oh, wait. The game is not over yet.
It's not over yet.
Succeed to rescue Professor and return to Earth. Still, the battle needs to be, yeah. And then just goes to the credits. That's awesome.
Like I said, the game's not over. It's just like to stick you around at the credits.
I guess. And I think let's scroll past all the credits. I think it just goes. Then you have some comic panels, and then you have all 6 characters at the end. Huh. Yeah, I've never
Nice.
gotten to the end. Oh, that just shows you random play. Okay. Huh. Yeah, if you can find a 6-player system, you can buy these. You can still buy a cabinet, a 4-player cabinet for about $4,300. But from what I read, to find a 6-player one, there's only someone was saying there's only about 400 of them that they made, the 6-player ones. So if you find one,
that can't be out there a lot.
it's rare. I even found a instruction manual online on how to put the 6-player cabinet together. I didn't realize this, but they came to whoever bought them, I guess, at least the initial ones, you had to put them together. So it shows you how to put the monitors in, how to attach the front cabinets, how to put the little joysticks in, how to wire the harness in. I mean, this is really interesting how complicated.
So like Lou from Lou's Arcade had to put this together when he ordered it? Like Konami didn't send somebody out to do this?
If you got it brand new, I mean, after you bought it, then, obviously they would just put it in a truck and send it to the next person. But if you were the first one, yeah. Anyway, 6 players. But yeah, the 4-player one is the one I played. And I think you guys too. It's grab some buddies and pop some quarters in and not get through the first level. Yeah. Can you imagine 2 screens? But the graphics, again, 16-bit graphics, looks great. It's just like the Turtles, except with X-Men essentially.
Yep.
So you guys play this one a lot when you could?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I think when I was done with Turtles, I'd just walk over to the X-Men and play that.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah, you can see how big this thing is. Wow, it's pretty cool. So, all right. Well, the next one I've got, sticking with the X-Men theme. Let's you can go on YouTube too and find the Pride of X-Men if you want to watch the cartoon. The arcade game sold really well, so it was pretty popular.
Just that one episode they did.
That was just the intro, but I think you can find the full episode too of the pilot episode that they did. But yeah, it sold really well because we didn't have a lot of comic book based video games back then, not good ones anyway. So when you had X-Men, Turtles, Avengers, Silver Surfer, whatever you get your hands on, you played.
Yeah.
So Children of the Atom is the next one. This one came out in 1994, and
another good one.
Yeah, another excellent. This one is not a kind of a side scroller, 3/4 scroller. This one is a fighting game in the vein of Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat. And it included all of our favorite heroes. So let me find a little video here of it. But I love this one, just looks spectacular. Yeah. Oh. And it's just pitting X-Men against each other, but there's a little bit of a storyline. Of course, Magneto is the final boss on this. So speaking of characters, which characters did you like when you played this game? Which one did you go for, guys?
I think I went towards either Colossus or Juggernaut.
Colossus again.
Yeah.
I think I kind of went. I think I stuck with Wolverine and Cyclops. I think I might have, thrown a Nightcrawler in there every now and then because I always liked the teleporting.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, his power is pretty good. on that. But I kind of liked Iceman for some reason. I don't know why.
Wow,
I
that's
played him
Forge.
some. Just different. But you have an Omega Red. See, this is so when this came
the
out in
Silver Samurai.
'94. Yeah, Silver Samurai. Yeah, this had the artwork and the design of what we were kind of used to by this point.
Yeah, this is the Jim Lee era X-Men. I mean, even with when you have Forge in there, this is the early '90s team.
Right.
The old, I could get past the first guy, the Sentinels, but I usually didn't last very long. Oh yeah, let's see, you fought Juggernaut too.
Just massive.
That was pretty freaking cool. I mean, he took up the whole freaking screen. Let's see if I can find him here. Here we go. Yeah, there's Juggernaut. But yeah, if you played Street Fighter, I know. You played Street Fighter, you kind of get the idea. It's just a fighting game, but they include the X-Men characters and you get their superpowers. And but yeah, Juggernaut is just massive. It takes up half the screen. I think there's Master Mold is in here too, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Let's skip to the. I don't know if there's an ending to this or not.
It's probably lame.
Probably.
Well, it's probably in the vein of Street Fighter, where if you beat it with a certain character, each character has its own ending.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think you're right. Oh, that's right. They had to include a Capcom, a character from Street Fighter in order to get Capcom to do this.
Hybrid.
You win. Round 2.
Oh, it's round 2. Maybe they don't have anything on this. Oh, no, they do. Oh, wait, no, the building's going to be destroyed here. Oh, the Acolytes.
Oh, yeah.
I think that might be it. That is it. Okay. So you beat Magneto. The Acolytes show up, and then you're done.
With no explanation, no saying who they are, nothing. Just, all right.
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, man.
And we're done.
And that's it.
That's amazing.
Fun game, but I was never good at video games anyway, but I would always throw a couple quarters in this one and try it, and I would never do very well. So, but let's see.
Yeah, I was never good at the fighting games, but I remember playing this one probably thinking like, well, it's X-Men, so I like X-Men. I bet I'll be good at it. It's like, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the fighting games, you have to have some really good reflexes. But Al, you beat Silver Surfer. You would think you'd.
No, I was not good at the fighting game. I was a button masher that would always go on the offensive way too quick and way too often.
So you jump towards them and just push buttons as fast as you could.
Just dive right in and just mash and just get clobbered. That's all that ever happens.
Oh man, let's see. There's some. Let's see. You had the Acolytes there. You had Exodus, Delgado, Kleinstock. I don't know that guy right offhand. There's Forge is in the background on one of Storm's endings because they had a little love interest there for a while. Jean Grey cameos in Cyclops's and Wolverine's ending because she's not actually in there. Yeah, that's right. She's not in this. Mojo cameos and Spiral's ending. Professor X, of course, is there. But yeah, it's a fun game. So you could pick Cyclops, Wolverine, Psylocke, Iceman, Colossus, and Storm. The heroes you could pick. Yeah.
Psylocke, another weird choice.
Yeah, well, she was kind of big there when the Jim Lee reboot came around.
Yeah, Psylocke was huge then.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Let's see. You had came out in '94. Got a pretty good rating. It was like 4.6 out of 5 on the rating. So I liked it. I thought it was a fun game. I just was never very good at it, so I would be done very quickly. But just like this one I didn't probably have near as long a play as the X-Men arcade, just because you could, if you got a couple guys together, you could play the X-Men arcade game and last a fair amount. But this one,
right?
You go 3 rounds. I was done by the second round, usually.
Right? Yeah.
I could usually beat the Sentinel occasionally, but after that, I was, I wasn't gonna last very long. Was this at your arcade too, then, Ben, that you had?
Yeah, for a brief little bit, I remember it being there.
Yeah,
because they had this, and then later on they had the Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yes, that was
so
huge.
Then you had all the X-Men characters and a few other Marvel characters fighting all the Street Fighter characters.
Yeah,
so
that was fun. Yeah, we got Colossus in his classic red, Al's favorite character.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all I got about Children of the Atom. Any other comments about Children of the Atom?
No.
It was a fun game. So last but not least is the Captain America and the Avengers. Now this one is just like the Turtles and the X-Men. It's just a simple side scroller, and you can just has all the characters from the Captain America game or from the comic book and the Avengers. I need to pull that up here. I didn't grab I don't know if you guys played this one at all or not too, but it was pretty much guaranteed in the arcades too. 6 players. And
I don't even remember this one at all.
Yeah. Oh man, somebody dumped a ton of quarters in. You pick your 4 characters: Vision, Iron Man, Captain America, and Hawkeye. This came out in, I think, 92 as well, if I remember correctly. Let me make sure I have 91, sorry. Came out in 1991. So this would have been, the same time as the Turtles. It's a 4-player game. I think Red Skull is the primary villain in this one. This one's a little rougher because it came out a little earlier. Did you guys see this in the arcade anywhere?
Never seen this at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't remember this one at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the Avengers. It had kind of a cheesy voiceover on when you put a quarter in and stuff like that. Let's see. Red Skull's assembled an army of supervillains. Let's see.
As you do.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. You have your special attacks, like Hawkeye can do a flying kick. Captain America, of course, can throw his shield. Other Avengers. Oh, so they have some other Avengers: the Wasp, Quicksilver, Wonder Man, Namor. Huh. I had never lasted very long, so I didn't get to see very many of the characters. Let's see. You go through different levels. Oh, you're on the little Quinjet.
You're on their Silver Surfer jet skis.
Yeah, there you go. They won the contest.
They're on their Silver Surfer jet skis fighting off the bad guys.
Going through Manhattan. Huh, I kind of forgot this. That's some generic robot bad guys.
I like all of the onomatopoeias popping up there in the fights.
Oh, yeah. Pow, bam.
Yeah.
So I think this is.
Let's say Mech Taco.
Let's see here. Let's try to get to the end here. See if we can. Here's his. Red Skull has a moon base. So
of course,
like every villain does, right?
Yeah,
as you do.
Let's see. Oh, we destroyed the moon base. But we fly our Quinjet out of there. Oh, onomatopoeia right across the front. Oh, thanks to the brave and valiant efforts of our heroes, the Avengers, Red Skull and his evil plan was crushed, and the world once again breathed easily. But for the Avengers, the battle doesn't end here. Wherever evil exists in this world, they must confront it. Well, I don't know. What do you think about that ending? Is that
It's like a step above the Silver Surfer, just being like, nah, you can't have this.
Yeah, it's one of the better endings that we've seen.
Yeah.
In the name of justice, Avengers unite. Wow. And then it just goes to the... Yeah, it just goes to the end credits. Oh, they fly off. A little shooting star going across the screen. Oh, man. Oh, the Red Skull.
He'll be back.
Man.
That's great.
Well, there you go. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, this one came out. Oh, go ahead.
Him laughing at the end was like akin to Skeletor at the end of Masters of the Universe coming out. So you're like, oh, there's going to be a sequel, and then there just never was.
Never was. Yes. Oh, I kind of forgot. You know how many times I watched that, Ben? I never went clear to the end until probably 10 years later.
The first time I realized that was there was I don't remember how many years ago. They were playing it at the Alamo, and we all went, with Eddie and the other Mega guys, and we were watching it, and I thought it was over. I'm like, oh, the end credits, time to go. And I think it was I think Chris Metri's like, wait, hold on, it's not done. I'm like, yeah, it is, it's over. And he's like, no, wait. And so we're sitting there, and then that popped up, and I was like, when did this happen? And he's like, it's always been there. It's great. And I'm like, what the hell? I never knew it existed.
I know. Me too. I was like, what? I watched this probably 20 times and I never even paid attention. That was before end credit scenes were kind of a thing. And I figured, oh, this is an 80s movie. They're not going to have that.
Right. As soon as it fades to black and the credits start rolling, you walk out of the theater.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is a fun little game. You can find it. It came out on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and pretty much everything. And if you like comic books, video games, this one's a good one just to give it a try in the vein of Turtles and the X-Men arcade game. It's pretty much the same exact thing, just with a different set of characters and different set of powers and villains. So check it out. Cool.
Yeah.
You guys didn't know this one existed, huh?
No,
or didn't see it in arcade. Oh, okay.
No.
I played it a few times at a couple of arcades. We'd find them, and it's pretty cool. All right.
So I have a couple of honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Real quick that I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Batman game that came out in '89 with the movie.
Oh, on Nintendo?
Yeah.
It was more or less like Ninja Gaiden, but Batman.
Yeah.
But it was a fantastic game. It was solid gameplay. The graphics were Nintendo, but they were decent.
Right.
It was fun. It was a good game.
I remember that. That was a good game. It was fun.
Sunsoft was notorious for hard games. I kind of remember that. Yeah. You're right.
The other one that I had written down that I played a lot of, I didn't have it, but my friend did, and we played the game all the time, was the Wolverine game.
Oh. Let's see, it's like Adamantium Rage or something like that. Wasn't it called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Something like that, yeah.
Look.
That's a new one. I don't think I know about that one.
Oh, man. It was amazing. Especially like our favorite part was when Psylocke would make her appearance. Yeah.
Is it because of what Psylocke's costume looks like? Is that why you like her making her appearance?
Oh man, I remember playing that level. It was just a fun game. It was a good game.
Here's a little gameplay for 8-bit action. This is it, right, Al?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
So again, a little Mario, little Ninja Gaiden-ish.
And of course, the magnets were, that was a big deal.
Because you jump and then kind of pull you back, wouldn't they?
Yeah, because you got a metal skeleton.
Well, yeah, of course. You got to have that joke in there every time Wolverine's on screen.
Jubilee, yeah.
So these are the little cut scenes you're talking about, Al?
Yeah, they
that
little
has just
cameos.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psylocke, of course, was more. I think she was like in a swimsuit because that was her costume. But yeah,
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, she pretty much is. Her costume is a swimsuit. Man, somebody actually played this one. I heard was really hard. Where is Saber? So Sabretooth must be the primary villain on this one.
I think so,
is this Sabretooth? Let's see.
I don't know if we ever beat the game, but I know we did.
It's a hard game, I bet you. Bub. Oh man, that's awesome. And then here's the Batman playthrough. Side scroller.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. The Ninja Gaiden kind of going up the walls. Yep.
The old wall jump.
Yeah. Yeah, 1989. I think the Wolverine was 88, maybe. I'm not sure, but
no, it was like 91.
Oh, was 92. It 91? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I remember the Batman game. I don't think I've ever seen the Wolverine game though.
Yeah. To go check it, fire it up in emulator and go check them out, and you'll probably get frustrated really fast, I imagine. Because these are hard. Nintendo games are just well. Of course, I take that back, Al. If you beat Silver Surfer, maybe this won't seem so difficult.
Man, listen, I did. That's the only game I ever beat. I never even beat Mario. So
yeah, I haven't either. So you're in good company. How about you, Ben? Are you beating these old NES games, Super NES games all the time?
No. I mean, Mario I never beat, and I feel like most games I just not really got bored with, but either just got frustrated and just stopped.
Yeah.
Like I'd get like halfway through and I'm like, I'm done with this.
Yeah. I was kind of the same way. I just like, I'm done. I wasn't a completionist. I didn't have to beat the game. I was just like, I just want to have fun.
Right.
You know, that's what, and again, we didn't have I don't think we had a lot of video games based on comic books, especially early on. That just wasn't until Nintendo came along. Obviously that kind of changed the gaming system overall, because look what we had, Atari 2600 Superman. I mean, we're just like, no, we got to wait a little bit. But I remember the Batman one on Nintendo. We played that. I think I rented that a couple times to play it, and it was pretty hard, but fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's all I got, guys. Unless you got something else, I think we've covered it. That was a fun time down memory lane, and what could have been. Al could have had a jet ski.
I could have had a jet ski,
right?
That my parents probably would have sold.
Probably. Yes. Oh man. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for listening, and until next time, nerd it up. See you guys.
See ya.
Later.